The fishing news is sponsored by these fine partners.
We start this week's video fishing forecast in the New Jersey, Delaware Bay region with more fish porn from somewhere out along the central Jersey coast as bass continue to corral the peanut bunker. This video courtesy of Alex Condis. I'm Jim Hutchinson, New Jersey, Delaware Bay edition of the Fisherman Magazine, back at my desk this week, shackled to my chair while working on the next edition of the Fisherman Magazine. That's the January edition, which, believe it or not, will hit newsstands in just a little over 2 weeks. So yeah, they won't let me go fishing this week. I've got to get my work done. January edition. I mean, we're barely into the month of December. Time flies when you're having fun. It's Thursday, December 7th, a day which will forever live in infamy. God bless the United States of America, and for those who lived and fought amongst the greatest generation. The infamy today, of course, can be found in the striped bass fishery. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Now, back in 2022, this was the scene along the beach in Point Pleasant on December 4th. And for all intents and purposes, the final day of all-out blitz conditions at the Jersey Shore. A young man and his father I bumped into fishing the beach, just having a blast, as peanut bunker were getting blasted right there in the wash. Now, of course, keep in mind, we're only a few days off of that mark now in 2023, but that peanut action was still in play through this past weekend at least, and keeping the run and gun crowd just racing up and down the buggy beaches, especially in Ocean County, right? If I think back to 2021, if you'll visit back, go back with the time machine with me. 2021, I was in Island Beach State Park, and there was a blitz bunker, big bunker, small bunker, herring, giant stripers, 30-pounders, New Year's Eve day. I was late to the festivities because of it. So I can't say the run is over, and hopefully there's no one else can either. Plus the fact that the upper half of New Jersey along many stretches of beach, we're seeing a new batch, a new wave of baits in the form of sand eels. Now these skinny little baits, typically best found or most found being just destroyed by the striped bass at first light, a little after first light. Typically, especially where you see the loons, right? You see some of those seabirds in tight, few more loons than normal. It's probably a good indication that those sand eels are right there. Now, some sections of beach that I have seen have a fairly consistent early morning sand eel bite. So the Ava jigs and the teasers and the tsunami plastics and teasers. Billy V from Animals and Gardens in New Egypt, I bumped into him recently. He gave me a handful of his teasers to try with pretty darn good success. And the good thing is if you're fishing that way with the teaser and all of a sudden it turns into peanut bunker, take the teaser off and put it in. You don't have to change leaders. I'm lightening up most of my leaders this time of year anyway. But this image was taken this past Friday morning somewhere in Ocean County. It shows an actual sand eel on the left there, my friend Mike's palm, and a tsunami sand eel imitation on the right. A perfect match for that particular hatch. So you want to pack those plug bags if you're heading out this weekend with those sand eel imitations and the teasers, but also the stuff for bunker as well, which of course the swim shads, the metal lips, the Kettle Creek swing shads, and the jig heads. Just want to be prepared for anything that arises. Of course, December too happens to be typically the time of year where we get a decent herring bite. So yeah, definitely you want to keep the bucktails in there, but some of those SP minnows, right, the shinier ones, the white ones, they're going to work pretty well as well if the bass are pouring on herring. So there's plenty of bait, you would think. There's plenty of striped bass action left here along the Jersey Shore. A good way to prep, of course, is that December edition of the Fisherman Magazine. It's out in newsstands right now. You got a surf striper on the cover. And of course, our holiday gift guide, 60+ gift items for you if you're shopping for this week's Hanukkah or Christmas in a few weeks. But look for Nick Honicheski's summary of the late season bite in the surf. He'll take you all the way through into the new year. He's got all the lure recommendations, the tactics, what you want to look for, and everything that you need to score on the beach this holiday season. Now, as I do speak often about this epic striper fishery in the upper half of the Garden State, I'm of course reminded that in the lower half of the state, Atlantic County in part, but more so and to a greater degree in Cape May County, we just don't see the same striped bass fishery today as we did 20 years ago. Now, on Tuesday night, there was a meeting in Stafford Township about striped bass management for the future and an upcoming decision to be made by the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission. The guys from New Jersey, the New Jersey Division of Fish and Wildlife, Jeff Brust and Mike Celestino and Brandon, the three guys in New Jersey did a terrific job wading through all of this mess and really did a great job of listening to the comments of folks that are pretty angry at the ASMFC. But there were about 50 people in the room to my count. And it's not their decision, of course, the New Jersey Division of Fish and Wildlife. This is up to the Atlantic States Marine Fisheries Commission, the ASMFC. It's like the crumbs from the table come filtering down and the guys in New Jersey have to sift through and we all get mad, right? That said, there was a common theme that in that room on Tuesday night, the fact that NOAA Fisheries survey data from the Marine Recreational Information Program, or MRIP, you saw this in the September edition of the Fisherman Magazine back in the fall, that NOAA is overestimating the effort by as much as 40%. That's under their own words. They think that MRIP may be overestimating by as much as 40%, which really doesn't jive well, of course, with the 49–50% cut in the striped bass fishery based on the continuing emergency slot option. And that was the big discussion on Tuesday night. So anyway, of the various options discussed on Tuesday, of the options that were actually options that wouldn't put New Jersey out of compliance, that one was the first one. But the majority of folks commenting on Tuesday said, just keep the same darn 28 to 31 inch slot limit in place and keep it in place for everybody, private anglers and for hire. That's pretty much what I heard taking notes. Not everybody wants that. And some people said, let's turn the tables over and go back on NOAA. But pretty much that option with 28 to 31 for everybody. But another common theme on Tuesday was overwhelming support for the continuation of New Jersey's striped bass bonus program, which makes up a small percentage of the unused commercial quota. Other states like Massachusetts, for example, they charge anglers to become commercial fishermen to keep up to 15 fish a day, 15 stripers at 35 inches and up. You could sell them, whatever you want to do. Well, I'll tell you what, somehow, somewhere along the way, we with the bonus program versus Massachusetts with their striped bass commercial harvest, suddenly New Jersey, we're all the bad guys.
So say good night to the bad guy. Come on.
That said, the comments on Tuesday from some folks in Atlantic and Cape May County, I would have to remind everybody in the Garden State that striped bass fishing in the lower half of the state, along the beach in particular, is simply not the same, not in any way, shape, or form as what we see in the upper stretches of Ocean County, from Barnegat Inlet all the way up to Sandy Hook. It's clearly the tale of two states here in New Jersey. Now, that being said as well, over the weekend, speaking with Andy at Riptide Bait and Tackle in Brigantine, he reported stripers all over out front for the boat guys. These bass were falling for mojos, niners, flutter spoons, bucktails with a shad. Andy said, quote, "It really doesn't matter." So there's a thick body of bass in the offshore range out inside the 3 mile line. Of course, outside 3 miles as well. But remember, you're not allowed to target striped bass, even if you're catching and releasing. You cannot have a striped bass in the box, and you can't play catch and release for striped bass outside of 3 miles. It's against the law. And I don't know if you noticed, but there was a Coast Guard cutter out there recently, and that's what they were monitoring. They were looking for striped bass fishermen outside the 3 mile line. All the way down into Cape May, our South Jersey report field editor, Anthony Califano, he posted earlier this week at thefisherman.com that the folks at Hands 2 Bait and Tackle said bass are in about 30 feet of water as of this weekend's report. Keep in mind, 30 feet of water in Cape May is a little bit farther out than 30 feet of water off of, let's say, Manasquan, different area. And they did say at Hands that unlike the bite to the north, this has mostly been a trolling fishery with mojos, umbrellas rigged with surgical tubing, sand eels, and bunker spoons, all taking some of those stripers off the beach. Stripers are clearly on the move, almost a sprint at this point, I guess, in many ways once they get down below Barnegat Inlet. The folks at Lewis Harbor Marina in Lewis, Delaware said the crew of Bottom Line Sport Fishing caught and safely released some oversized stripers off Bethany Beach over the weekend. Also on the troll, they were also throwing some ronsies and doing some jigging as well. I did hear from Steve at Smith Bait in Leipzig on Monday. We spoke. He said guys are fishing around the lighthouses and structure inside Delaware Bay. They are picking at some stripers as well. They're also picking out off some of the tog that are in there. A lot of action on the tog, just not as many keepers. Most of the better striped bass action in between those areas, in between Barnegat and Cape May, remains in the back bays and along the sod banks. Soft plastics, perhaps try some of those smaller poppers around dawn and dusk, but you might even want to walk some of the sedges if your boat's not in the water. Keep in mind that we have 20 some odd days until January 1st. Once January 1st hits, we are not allowed to target striped bass in the back bay in New Jersey. More regulations, more restrictions. A lot of folks still in the water at this point are heading outside the line and not for striped bass, although they are encountering quite a bit of striped bass. But no, striped bass. It's the holiday tuna. I mean, we've had a really terrific run of bluefin tuna, anywhere from 3 to 15 miles out. Gary Adair, he says, in Magic Tales we trust. Clearly one of Dante's Who Magic heads, maybe Joe Schutz, but Kirsten Holloway here putting the boots to a good bluefin this week. Again, I would point you back to that December edition of the Fisherman Magazine. Jimmy Frieda has an article on December bluefin fishing. It's a pretty solid article. And again, these bluefin are anywhere from 3 or 4 miles to 14 or 15 miles off the beach. You just need that HMS permit. Your boat's still in the water. You need to get geared up. I was in speaking with the folks at the Real Seat in Brielle on Friday. They said a lot of guys are gearing up to get in on that bluefin bite right now. The Fisherman Magazine, I mentioned that before, right? I keep pointing to the magazine. A lot of folks are saying, yeah, I don't get the magazine. Well, why not, man? It's $29.95 for the year. And in here, I reference so many things in this video every week that are in complete detail in the magazine. $29.95 for a subscription to the Fisherman Magazine, plus give the gift to yourself. You get that edition delivered to your house, plus you get a $20 gift card for the holidays from Shorehold Marine Products. Give the magazine to a buddy for Christmas. Happy holidays, my friend. Keep the $20 gift card for yourself. Like I said, you do that, I won't say a word. Today is the very first day of Hanukkah. Last week I had a few gift recommendations from friends of mine at the Folsom Tackle Show in Atlantic City. On this week's Open Boat, Jenny visits Charlie's Bait and Tackle in Normandy Beach, where Philly Billy gives a rundown on some local classics that should be stuffed in the stockings of your favorite surfcaster this season.
Hi everyone, welcome to this week's Open Boat. Today we're at Charlie's Bait and Tackle here with Philly Billy, and we're going to talk about the holiday wish list for surfcasters. So Billy's going to talk about what you surfcasters should have in your stockings this holiday season.
Hey, this is Philly Billy from Charlie's Bait and Tackle. Happy holidays, everybody. If you're looking for some stocking stuffers for your favorite surfcaster, you can start with a loaded cotton cordell redfin. Cotton cordell redfins loaded like this are hard to find, but we have a special guy, Scott Hoffman, who loads them for us, and we have them for sale in the shop. They make a great stocking stuffer. We also have hand-tied teasers. Scott Hoffman also hand-ties these himself. We have the eel imitation and the regular white bucktail made with true bucktail. These are great, make for great stocking stuffers, especially because the eel bite is coming up in December. We also have PS resins, made right here in the shop by Pete Cupper and Scott Hoffman. They're made right in the back. Every component is from the United States of America. Truly a made in the USA product. Make for great stocking stuffers, and they catch fish.
So Charlie's Bait and Tackle has some excellent products here right in Normandy Beach, the prime time fishing location in New Jersey. for the fall run. So you definitely want to stop in this holiday season and get stocked up for the holidays on the best selection for your surf caster in your life.
Of course, just a few miles down the road from Charlie's, you might want to stop by Grumpy's Tackle in Seaside Park. Grumpy's Tackle will have Grumpy Santa himself this Saturday and Sunday. That's from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. It's a benefit for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. You can get your picture taken with Grumpy Santa himself. The kids will love it. Grumpy will be giving out candy canes for the kids. And if you're not very careful, Grumpy might give you a candy cane as well. I'm telling you, trust me. If you're on Grumpy Santa's bad side, you'll want to kind of sniff around that candy cane that he gives you, because some of them, I think there's a bunker flavored. I swear to you, I'm pretty sure there is. We'll take a look at tog and black sea bass reports in just a few minutes. But first, my man George is back on his feet again and up to his armpits in freshwater reports from throughout the tri-state area. Ho, 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 to the Poconos we go.
Well, hey, thanks, Jim. It's great to be back. You know, I'm recovering here from home from surgery, so I'll be coming to you guys from here over the next few weeks, but we certainly have an eye on all the action going on as we work through December here and into the new year. But a lot of things going on. I know a lot of folks are still spending a lot of time in the woods chasing deer, but a couple of guys are out hardcore fishing a lot of the local lakes and streams here in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. I had a check-in from Blaine Herzog out fishing my home lake of Beltsville. You know, he was out there and caught one monster channel cat. I tell you, that thing is absolutely gorgeous. I spent a lot of summer nights out there chasing these catfish alone, and I'll tell you what, I've never seen one that big. Great work there, Blaine. Now, Blaine says he also got 2 other catfish, a striper and 2 walleye. Now, how's that for a great day out on the water? Great work there, Blaine. Let's keep that up. Also, Rich Bates checked in. You know, he was up on the Lackawaxen chasing some muskie, and he scored pretty big with a nice one here. He said he caught that on a 6-cent segmented swim bait. So great work there on that one, Rich. Again, muskie this time of year, guys, you just can't beat it. That water's cold. They're going to be active and chewing. Now, over in New Jersey, we have our ubiquitous Jersey angler, Jen Wong. He was out there chasing some largemouth. Actually in the jerkbait still working that pattern that will produce for you in the colder water. And he also managed to get a 22-inch rainbow trout floating a jig just on the creek itself. So lots of great fishing, guys. You know, if you're out chasing deer, that's great. Best of luck to you, but there's still some great fishing. So be sure you get out and get on them. But from Pennsylvania, I'm George, your Pocono Outdoors guy.
From the Pocono Mountains to the Pacific coast of Costa Rica, let's check in with Captain Ben, jackpot sport fishing out of Marina Pez Vela in Quepos.
Guys, good morning. This is Ben Gilmore here in Costa Rica and the Marina Pez Vela. Guys, our high season is in full swing right now. The fishing down here is red hot. We've had a nice little bite of blue marlin. Some really nice blue marlin caught here the past few weeks. We've had some striped marlin as well, and a really nice sailfish bite. Some of the boats here getting towards double-digit sailfish releases some days. We've had yellowfin tuna offshore, a lot of small tuna, 10 to 30 pounds, and a few big ones out there also. Just a few weeks ago, there was a 190-pound yellowfin caught here. A few dorados still kicking around as well. Yesterday, we had a couple of dorados. So, guys, looking forward to seeing you down here soon. This is Ben Gilmore and Jackpot Sport Fishing at the Marina Pez Vela.
What would the Dreamboat Challenge be without a photo finish? We had 2 fish hit the board in the event's final week. The bidding began with Rego Park, New York's Andrew Ortiz and his 8.55-pound tog that secured 7th place in the category. Then we had the ultimate hero move. Kyle Kraus made a run to Block Island and landed a 2.6-pound porgy, upgrading his previous catch to a 4th place finish. This locked him into a tie for 1st place with leaderboard Bobby Cifarelli. So we have to go to the tiebreakers, and the Dreamboat rules state that ties will be broken by the angler with the largest overall fish. Bobby Cifarelli survives the heroic moves of Kyle Kraus thanks to his 16.2-pound blackfish, which stands as the largest fish entered all year. These results cannot be made official until after December 10th and until Cifarelli has passed a required polygraph test. Stay tuned for the final results, coming soon. The Dream Boat Fishing Challenge is the Fisherman subscriber-only multi-species fishing competition with a chance to win a new 21-foot Steigercraft center console powered by Yamaha, along with many other great prizes. Visit thefisherman.com to subscribe and get all the details so you can be part of the action.
We're still getting tog reports from many of the local jetties and walls in the region. Plenty of keepers in the mix as well. Air temperatures, though, I would tell you, are beginning to drop this first week of shotgun season in New Jersey, right? It always seems that the first time you start chasing those wily whitetails, the temperature drops into the 20s. And that's what we're seeing the last couple of days. Temperatures to start the day in the 20s. And that should help bring some of the inshore water temperatures down as well. I would tell you the average ocean water temps this time of year, using the Atlantic City Station as a guide, it runs about 48.5 degrees. The lows coming in around 40 and the highs around 56, 56.5. I took a look a few hours before high tide on Wednesday, and the reading was 51.8 degrees, just a little bit above the average temperature. So as water temperatures start to drop a few more degrees on average, I think we'll see a better bite on the tog at the inshore wrecks and reefs, especially some more of those tog push out from that colder inshore back bay area waters. There are plenty of headboat options for you throughout the Garden State. The Jamaica 2 here out of Manasquan Inlet. You've got boats sailing out of Shark River, Barnegat, Absecon, down into Cape May, and across into Lewis and Indian River Inlet as well. Some folks feel that the white leggers get the nod over the greenies as the temperatures drop. That, of course, will be in play for you in this weekend ahead. Pretty good sailing seas. I know boats like the Starfish and Sea Isle City looking forward to a nice sailing forecast today through Saturday. Southwest winds and 2 to 3 foot seas. Very pleasant out there. I think those conditions are equally good for those looking to fish the surf this weekend up and down the Jersey Shore. Those looking to the sand eels in the morning, as I mentioned, the peanuts popping by at any point. Of course, fishing by boat, jigging, dropping the swim shads inside the line, maybe even dragging those umbrella rigs or mojos. So with that light wind, light seas, it should be another busy weekend, especially for those of you running and gunning down the beaches looking for a blitz conditions. Of course, black sea bass still in play through the month of December. Guys like Captain Ralph Lair, the Last Lady out of Shark River, customers there enjoying trips to the land of the biscuits. 15 fish bag limit, 12.5-inch size limit in New Jersey. Good fishery out of Delaware ports as well. 15 fish bag limit through the end of the year as well, but 13 inches there in Delaware. But keep in mind, we are now shut down as of January 1st on black sea bass. Thank you, Noah. So you only have until the end of the month to load up on that fishery as well. Now, a reminder about striped bass, what we spoke about before. Those options that we discussed earlier, mode splits between the private and the for hire community, where each gets a different regulation, the different slot options, whether or not to keep the bonus program in New Jersey. Those comments are due to the ASMFC by December 22nd. The ASMFC Striped Bass Board will be reviewing everything and discussing again when they meet in January. If you want the ASMFC to keep your hands off of our unused commercial quota of striped bass in New Jersey, tell them. Because that's what I heard Tuesday night. Most guys want to keep that striped bass bonus program. It's voluntary. The state of New Jersey gets good logs on it. And why would you want to tell the ASMFC take something away from us? That's silly. If you want, let the good folks at ASMFC know via email. Let them know what you think. Go over to thefisherman.com. You'll find a couple of stories on our homepage about this, all the links that go directly to the comment area. You can also go directly to the ASMFC website in the breaking news area. of asmfc.org. So just how popular is surfcasting in New Jersey this time of year? Well, this is a good indication. Mobile beach driving permits at Island Beach went on sale at midnight on December 1st. And the next day, December 2nd, the state announced that Island Beach season-long buggy permits had already sold out. Some folks are wondering about folks being from out of state. It's my understanding that less than 10% of the buggy permits went out of state. Now, did a lot of them go to people who like to play with beach balls up on the beach? I'm not sure. But if you want to get in on that Island Beach season-long buggy permit, you got to get up early next year. There are, last I heard, some weekday permits. So if you're not going in crowded conditions on Saturday and Sunday anyway, go over, find the Island Beach State Park website, and I would suggest you better hurry on that one as well. Happy Hanukkah, family and friends. That runs through December 15th, at which point we are down to the final stretch of Christmas shopping for 2023. Honestly, if this striper run continues along at this clip that it is now, well, I'm giving nothing but gift cards this holiday season. And if that makes me the bad guy, you can blame it all on the stripers.
The last time you're going to see a bad guy like this again, let me tell you.